Good morning. Nice to have you here with me this morning. Getting ready for our full body workout. It is a rainy, gray day where I am, but it is feeling really humid and warm. It's definitely a summer day or late spring day. I am really excited to do this energizing workout with you. I think it's going to set a great tone for the rest of the day. It's going to help us feel really strong and accomplished. This whole routine can be done without equipment. However, if you want to add ankle weights, that's always an option to step up the level of challenge and intensity. But even just with body weight resistance, you're going to feel the burn throughout the body. It includes a warm up and a cool down. So let's go ahead and dive right into our warm up. So I'm going to come into a kneeling position on the mat. I'm facing forward. You can be standing if that's more comfortable for you. If you're standing, your feet are hip distance apart. I'm going to place my hands on my knees here. I'm going to inhale. And as I exhale, I'm going to reach back through that right hand, stretching and lengthening, rotating around the spine, and then come forward. Reach back with that left hand, and then come forward. So inhale forward and exhale to reach back. Good. Now I want you to really focus on keeping your spine really tall here, trying not to arch or round through the spine, just enjoying this rotation around the thoracic spine as we pull back through those fingers and really open through the chest. We're stretching our necks here as well, which feels really good, especially if you're joining me first thing in the morning. Shrugging and stretching away that tension for 2. And last 1, reach back and lower down. Now we're going to draw one big circle back, reach with those fingers and extend the spine, bringing the gaze up. Lengthen, 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 and then circle the arms forward and lower them down to the mat. Now from here, we're going to stretch out the backs of the legs a little bit. So the wrists are below the shoulders. I'm going to step the right foot back and flex the foot and then just push back, lengthening through the leg, feeling the stretch running into the calf. Inhale forward, exhale, push back, lengthening and stretching, really pushing hard back through that heel. Good, till you feel the stretch, come forward, relax. And last one, push back, breathing for 3 and 2 and 1, come forward. Drop your left forearm down to the mat, lengthen through the neck. Bring that right knee in and just circle it. Mobilizing the hip on this right side. Good, lengthening through the spine. Good, drawing nice big exaggerated circles in the air with that knee. Really pick it up and circle it down and around for 2. And final 1, lower knee. We're going to switch sides. So stepping that left foot back, lengthening through the heel, pressing back into a stretch. Inhale, coming forward, and exhale, pressing back, lengthening through that heel. And forward, last one, stretch back, push back into the stretch for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come forward, drop your right forearm down to the mat and start circling that left knee in. Good, lengthening through the spine, picking that knee up, mobilizing the hip area. For 3, lift that knee a bit higher, and 2, and final 1. Lower your knees down to the mat, curl your toes and pike up into a downward dog, stretching and lengthening through the spine. Drawing those heels down toward the mat, bending the knees as much as you need to really flatten out the back. Holding in plank here, and then downward dog, and then coming forward into plank. Holding with your wrists below your shoulders, creating a nice flat line with the body for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And lift those hips nice and high, returning to your downward dog. Stretching and lengthening through the spine. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, shoot forward into your plank. Broaden across those shoulders, lift through the abdominal wall for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift. Last hold here in plank. We're going to hold, coming forward and holding it here, holding for 10 and 9. Really power up through those shoulders, lifting through abdominal wall for 3 and 2 and 1. Nicely done. Lower your knees down toward the mat. Take them wide and push back into child's pose, stretching and lengthening. Amazing work. Bring yourself up into a seated position. We're going to bring the feet forward on the mat. And from here, we're going to prepare for our ab work. So we're going to warm up the abdominal wall with some C-curve movements. So I'd like you to stand or sit with your feet hip distance apart. Press into the backs of your thighs, stacking the vertebrae one on top of the other. Shoulders are down away from your ears. Now from here, we're going to inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck the tailbone and curve the spine into the shape of a C, holding, feeling that tension on the abdominal wall. Deep inhale and exhale. Lift up, restacking the spine. Good. Curve back. Inhale, shoulders down away from your ears, holding onto the backs of your thighs for support. Scooping belly in, pulling navel in the whole way up. Now we're going to release the hands and curve back. Only goes back as far as you can with abdominal control. Good. Hold it there and lift. Now we're going to inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Inhale to lower, tuck the tailbone. Exhale, pull your navel in to lift. Good. Really focusing on those abs doing the work to lift you back up to a tall seated position. Inhale, curve. Exhale, lift. We've got 5, 4, come back a little bit further if you can. 3, hold and lift for 2. Great work. And final 1, come back and hold for 5, 4, 3, belly to spine, 2, and 1, and pull up and lift. Nice work. Now we're going to add a bit of a rotation in. So we're going to come back, rotating as we pull the right elbow back, working into the waistline, and lift. Pull back with that left elbow and lift. So make sure that as you pull back, you're just rotating around the rib cage here. You're not letting your hips rotate as well. Your hips stay evenly weighted on the mat. And if that's a bit of a struggle, just don't come back quite as far into that C curve. Don't rotate quite as deep. Just make a more small controlled movement and focus on building strength and stability from there. Good. Pulling back, feeling it into the waist and lifting. Let's go 4. Good. Challenge yourself by pulling back a bit further if you can. Last 2. Amazing control. And final 1. Pull back and lift up. Now from here, we're going to come all the way down to the mat. So rotate your palms so they're facing down and C-curve your way down. Stretch your legs out long when you touch down. Take your legs about shoulder distance apart, palms facing up toward the ceiling. We're going to inhale here. And as we exhale, we're going to curl up, bringing the hands to the sides, lifting the shoulder blades just off the mat. Head rests on top of the shoulders. Lower, inhale, and exhale to lift, reaching for the end of that mat. Inhale and exhale. Now, as you lift, I want you to engage your abdominal wall, pulling your belly button down towards your spine, and also sort of gently switch on your leg muscles as well. Lift through your pelvic floor. Inhale to lower, exhale, creating a nice tight seam running up the middle of the body. Make sure that when you lift up, your gaze is either looking down at your abdominals or down towards your feet, never up at the ceiling. That'll strain your neck. Good. Let's take one more and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. We're going to go right into our rollover here. So we're inhaling to peel up. Exhale to reach and stretch. If that's too much coming all the way up from the mat, I want you to hold it here, lift, fold, and stretch. Just come back that far. Otherwise, come back all the way down to the mat and lift up and over using the upper ab strength, reaching and stretching and using those lower abs the whole way down. Good. Gently keeping those leg muscles engaged, particularly as you roll down. It'll help with control and stability. Good. Peel up. Try to resist using momentum. And then one vertebra at a time back down to the mat as you lower. You're doing so well. Really firing up those abs. Dropping the shoulders, tucking the tailbone. Lifting up, stretching and reaching. And last one, we're going to peel up, reach and stretch, and take a hold of the calves, the ankles, or the feet. Enjoying a really nice back body stretch for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Okay, from here, we're going to go into some leg stretches. So I'd like you to bring your right knee in towards your chest and then stretch your leg up long, either taking a hold behind your thigh or behind your calf if you can reach. We're going to stretch, drawing the leg back toward the chest and then relax. Inhale and exhale. Stretch, pulling the leg toward the chest and release. Let's take 2 more. Stretch, pull the leg back a little bit further and release. Good. Last one. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Pulling the leg toward the chest and release. Let's switch sides, bringing left knee in, stretching and lengthening through the back of the leg, pulling it in toward the chest, and then relaxing. Inhale. And exhale, stretching the leg in a little bit further. Good. And inhale. Last 2. Stretching and lengthening, feeling the stretch running all the way up the back of the leg. And final 1, we're stretching. And then we're going to lift the head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat and extend the opposite leg out long. Going right into our single leg stretch here. Grip is behind the calf or the thigh. Inhale to switch the legs. Exhale to draw the leg in toward the chest. And as you pull that leg in, I want you to really tighten your belly button to your spine. Head is resting on top of the shoulders here, but if that's too much, lower head, neck, and shoulders down to the mat. Good work. Pull it in, tightening the core, working those abs. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring both legs up and both knees in toward the chest. Nicely done. Okay, and now we're going to work our obliques. You have a couple of options here. We're going to interlace our fingers behind our head. Head rests heavy in the hands. Option 1, you keep your left foot down on the floor as we tap the right toes down and then cross over, working into the obliques like so. Or you have the option of keeping that left leg in tabletop as we move up and down into that crossover. So left foot on the floor or in tabletop. Deep inhale to prepare and exhale to cross over to the right side and tap the toes down. Good. Crossover. Left elbow to right knee as we tap those right toes down to the mat and then lift the knee in toward the chest. Good. Now, if you're feeling strong here and you want to pick up the level of challenge, you're going to extend that right leg out and then cross over. Extend it out long and cross over. If that's too much, keep tapping the toe down to the mat. Keep that knee bent. Good. Working into those obliques. As we pick the left shoulder blade up off the mat, you're doing so well. Working that waistline, sculpting those obliques for 3 and 2 and final 1. Nicely done. Lowering the right foot down to the floor or keeping it in tabletop. We're going to cross over, right knee to left, right elbow to left knee. Good. Amazing work. Find that coordination. Keep those elbows nice and wide and sculpt into the obliques on the left side. Good. Now, if you want to challenge yourself, start extending that left leg between each repetition, between each crunch, keeping your low back in contact with the mat. Good work. I know it's tough, but you're doing amazing things for your core, so stick with it. Let's go 3. Pick that right shoulder up a little higher for 2. And final 1. And bring both knees in. Circle them in opposite directions, massaging your low back on the mat. Nice work. Okay, from here, we're going to stretch the legs out long and roll over onto the side body. So I'm propping my head up on my hand, or you can be on your outstretched arm, whatever works for you. We're going to pick the legs up and bring them forward, coming into a pike position. Now, we're going to really anchor down through that lower leg because we're going to be moving the top leg in a rainbow movement. So we're tapping the toes down and then lifting them up and tapping them in front of the lower leg. So lift up, tap them behind, lift up, tap them in front. So drawing this rainbow in the air with the top leg, starting to focus on the outer thigh, the glute area and the hip of this working leg. Good. And really focusing on keeping the core engaged and that lower leg stable so that you can isolate the work in the top leg and really make each rainbow count. Good. Belly to spine, shoulders relaxed. Really picking that leg up, imagining a little springboard underneath your big toe every time you tap and lift up and over. Good. Really controlled. You can feel the work building in that top leg. Point the toes, keep them nice and strong. That point will help you feel this work into the calves as well as the thighs and glutes. Good. Let's take 2 more. And last one. Cross over, come to the center, plug navel in so you're really stable in the torso, and we're going to lift and lower that top leg. Keeping it parallel with the lower leg. I know these burn. Stick with it. You're doing so well. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so this is my left leg I was working. I'm now going to continue to work that left side, but from a different position. So I'd like you to come to the top of your mat, drop down onto your right forearm, and extend your left leg or whatever leg that you were just working out on a diagonal. Now from here, we're going to go into those rainbow taps again. Good, tapping forward and backward on the diagonal. So this is a bit of a bigger range of movement. Really kick your leg up there. while still engaging the core so that you're protecting your back and you're not sort of swinging around too much in the torso. You've got your torso stable, your neck long, your shoulders set down away from your ears. Good work. Lift that leg a bit higher as you tap forward and backward. You're doing so well. Good, working the waistline here too. Let's take 2. And final 1. And then pause, holding that leg out on a diagonal, and pulse. Working that side booty area, working those thighs. Deep stabilizing muscles in the hips are firing here as well. Lift that leg a bit higher. You can do it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Now we're going to come into an all fours position, and we're going to do the rainbows from here. So we're targeting our gluteus maximus now. So hips and shoulders are square with the mat. We're extending out long through that left leg, crossing over bent leg, and then crossing to the opposite corner of the mat. So drawing those rainbows in the air, squeezing the bum at the top of every lift, focusing on the gluteus maximus here, really stabilizing through the trunk, broadening across those shoulders, breathing through it. Slow it down if you need to, if you're losing control and you're really swaying around in the torso. It's better to do less reps with more control than to speed it up and be all over the place. Good. Really squeeze that bum. You've got this. Let's go 3, 2, and final 1. We're holding it in the middle and we're pulsing up. Really lifting through the abdominal wall here. Keeping those shoulders nice and broad so you're not collapsing. Working those glutes and hamstrings. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whew. Great work. Push back into a child's pose. Stretching and lengthening. Regulating the breath. For 2 and 1. Okay, great work. We're now going to come over onto our other side, and I'd like you to get nice and comfortable here. Pick the legs up and bring them forward in your pike. Engage abdominal wall. Opposite hand is down on the mat for support. We're picking that top leg up and then crossing it over the lower leg. Good. You can start off with these first few reps a little bit slower, really focusing on activating the leg muscles and the glutes on this right side, anchoring down through that left leg so that you're super stable. Abs engaged, shoulders relaxed. Good. Toes pointed. The pointing of the toes really makes a big difference. Good, in activating all the lower leg muscles as well as the upper leg muscles. Good. Nice work. Keep moving, imagining that little springboard under your foot. Every time you come up and over. Let's go 3 and 2 and final 1. Come to center. Stack those hips and pulse. Pulsing. Good job. Keep that leg elevated in the air. You're doing so well. I know these are challenging. Can already feel this right side working so hard. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the leg down. Great. Now coming into the diagonal position with that right leg. So lowering the left forearm down to the mat, extending that right leg out long, finding length through the spine, lifting that leg up and over. Good. Really controlling it by contracting the core so that we're not rocking around in that upper body. Keep your upper body really stable. Good. Lifting right up, squeezing the glutes. Lengthening through that neck. Try to keep that right shoulder down away from right ear. This rainbow series is super effective, so stick with it. Good. Let's go 3, 2, and final 1. Bring the leg up. Make sure it's really lengthened out on the diagonal, and then lift. Lifting that leg, lifting it a bit higher. Breathing through the burn. Good. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Now from here, we're planting the palms down on the mat, extending the right leg out long, squaring those hips with the mat, crossing over, and drawing that rainbow arc in the air. Good. Keep moving. I want you to keep drawing those rainbow arcs. Good, you can do it. Stabilizing across those shoulders and the hips, squeezing those glutes. Lifting up and over. Final set of these rainbows here. Make them really count. Good work. Let's go 4 and 3, 2, and final 1. Hold in the middle and pulse it up. Pulsing that leg up. Tightening through the abdominal wall. Keep pushing the mat away. Breathe through it. We've got 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax it down. Take the knees nice and wide. Walk the hands out in front. Keeping the hips elevated, I want you to stretch back into child's pose, or rather puppy pose with the hips elevated. Breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth for 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Great job. Okay, from here we're dropping down onto our forearms. Forearms are parallel, shoulders are broad. Now we're stepping back into a low plank. I want you to create a really nice flat line with the body. Abs engaged. When you're strong and stable in your low plank, I'd like you to tilt forward and rock back. Rock forward and backward. So curling over the toes and then pressing back through the heels. If that's too much, this forward and backward motion, I want you to just hold in a low plank. Good. Rocking forward and backward. You're doing so well. Keep those abdominals switched on. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees down to the mat. I'd like you to walk your hands out in front of your shoulders, keeping your wrists, elbows, and shoulders in alignment. And now we're going to lower our forearms to the mat. Just hover the elbows above the floor and push up through the heels of the hands. lower, and lift. Keeping those arms parallel, focusing on the triceps doing the work as you push yourself up, straightening the arms. Final push here for the upper body. Lower and push up through the heels of the hands. Really focus on those triceps, mind-muscle connection. Coming right back down as soon as you straighten the arms, so not holding at the top for too long. Keep your neck long here, gazes down on the mat. Good. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Bring yourself into a plank position and fold your right leg under your body. Coming into pigeon pose. Let's stretch out the lower body a little bit as well as the abdominal walls. So just bring the gaze up. Pushing the mat away up through those fingers. And start bringing the breathing pattern back into those slow inhales and slow controlled exhales. Good. For 3 and 2 and 1. Now come back into your plank and fold your opposite leg under the body, stretching that back leg out behind you, pressing up through your fingers. And we're just going to look over the right shoulder, stretching through the neck. Good. Back to center. Look over the left shoulder, stretching. And back to center. Bring yourself into a cross-leg position. We're going to lift up and stretch to the side, lengthening through the side body, keeping both bum cheeks down on the mat. Reach a bit further. Reach, reach, reach. And center. Lower opposite hand down to the mat and stretch and lengthen over to the other side, keeping the chest open here. Lengthening all the way from the hip, all the way out through those fingers for 3 and 2 and 1. Come to center. Let's circle out the arms. I'm really sweating. Feels good to cool down. For 3, reach up through those fingers. And 2 and 1. Roll out your shoulders for 4 and 3 and 2 and last 1. Melt away any last bit of tension in those shoulders as you lower your arms down, lower your shoulders down, setting up your posture for the rest of the day. You should be feeling really strong and well stretched after completing that routine. That was definitely challenging. I felt my glutes activating from all angles. I hope you did too. Thank you as always for joining me for these live sessions. Love having you here. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.